Hi everyone, it's Dino, and it's been a bit since I've recorded a video. This is new, but I'm back at it again. And today I really have something I wanted to show you for a long time. I finally got around to making this video about it. It's called a Korg Wavedrum, WD-1. That's next to me here, and it's a very exciting instrument that I wanted to show you. Wavedrum is from Korg. This one in particular is their first issue of it that came out in the mid or early 90s. I think this might be a 1994 instrument. Um, the Wavedrum doesn't use samples. It's an electronic digital drum, but it uses something called state variable synthesis. That uses a modeling method that kind of defines all the parameters of an instrument and the way that those parameters interact with one another. And it allows for like a real-time dynamic model of a drum that then that translates to really expressive playability of the drum. That you can just do amazing things like finesse that you just simply can't do with samples and frankly with any other electronic drum that I've experience with. So let's have a look here. I've got the manual, the original downloaded manual, found a paper scan of it, which is fantastic. Transcribed all of the sounds. Believe it or not, the manual doesn't contain a list of the default patches. So I went ahead and just went through the menuing system here and got those all transcribed here. There's 100 of them that are baked into the instrument. And I thought I would do something else here for us, which is to do like a little tour of the instrument here. So let me go ahead and do that. So the instrument itself is on a big tubular stand, a pretty heavy duty stand. I have an expression pedal plugged into it. I'll show you that in a second. Here's that screen I was telling you about that I scroll through for the selecting the patches. There's a set of controls in front here. Controls for obviously like a headphone jack and some tone controls and then a master level that goes out. I've got that maxed. There's some parameter selection and settings that you can do here, although there is a much more comprehensive set of parameters that you can select and change with the RE1. That's a module, like an outboard module. Got one of those found now on Reverb and in process being shipped to me. Over here is the ability to select patches. You can go through banks. They've got like 10 banks, and then, the 10 patches, the program changes. There's also like a factory reset that's available there as well. And then in the back, you've got a set of inputs and outputs here. Obviously, AC power. There's a remote input, which is that DIN cable that you can see. There's a little selector switch that lets you pick either the remote or MIDI. There's MIDI out, in, and through. And then there is the input for the rim. The rim has its own pickup and its own sensor that you can see with this physical cable and this kind of corded wire that goes around, plugs into the back. And then you have, of course, the pedal input, and then either a mono or left and right outputs, and typical of a device like this. So yeah, so this thing is pretty much the most expressive drum that I've ever experienced. I'm going to play some sounds from it right now, um, and I'm going to go through what I have captured here. Uh, in terms of the different patches, and try to pick something that's gonna, make it really easy to see just how expressive it is. Let's do the tabla, and what is that, 21? Okay, tabla. So what I've gone and done is I've actually kind of got the, you know me, I like to talk about my signal chains. So I've got this inputted in through Logic. But all I'm doing right now is doing some noise reduction. There's a significant amount of circuit noise. It may be because of my setup in the room here. I don't know. I've got a lot of wiring, but I've been able to reduce that out. I did put an exciter on the instrument, which, because of the noise reduction, it lost a little of the high end. I was able to kind of give back some of its edge, and then a compressor. So you are hearing some stuff. I don't think it's really coloring the sound at all as much as it is making it in a form that is useful for recording and for live performance. You know, I I, I think it's going to be a faithful reproduction of what the instrument actually sounds like, especially given YouTube and all the compression and all that crap anyway. So have a listen. Okay, I'm playing with my hands. Everything you're going to be hearing is electronic. It's going to duck the room mic completely out while I'm playing, so you won't hear me ratting on this thing. And even though it's a physical surface and it does make noise when I hit it, that's a real drum head, etc. But it goes a little something like this. Here we go. You can see I can do finger rolls. I can play on the rim. I can play on the head. Oh, I can also do, all the things that I can do on tabla. Somebody with more skill than me, of course, could do more. But it's amazing how expressive this thing is. And everything I do, every type of attack, every type of hit, hitting with my knuckle, doing this, all the techniques, of course, express and make different sounds on a real tabla or on a real conga or whatever drum. And those also are available because of the way this modeling works, that the input itself can trigger a significant difference in the state variables, and then therefore make the sound differently. Korg modeled like drum shell and the air pressure and the length of the shell and the tension of the head and the thickness of the head and the material of the head. And, they have metallic models and, overtones and all kinds of stuff in here. So let's try the talking drum. Uh, you know, it's another one that's a great example of how expressive the inputs are. So here, what I've got is like a talking drum. I actually have a physical one. It's that African instrument with all those ropes around it that you can hold in your hand and squeeze. And here's the sound that the synthetic one of these that this makes. So it's a kind of a low pitch, and I've got a great expressive the rim, of course, but also it's crazy the range of sounds here. Of course, I can play this with a stick as well. I'm going to pick, let's see, maybe triangle. Let's see what number that is. That is 14. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, I've got a triangle. Now, with the sticks, it highlights something really interesting that maybe I didn't show adequately with my phone view, so I'm going to do that again. If you look, you'll see that the the rim has this kind of serrated rim around it, right? And it's got these different, like a fine grain one here, and like a guiro. So now what happens is, if I choose to, um, I think I'll do. What is this? Yeah, here we go. Oh, it's sideways. Never mind. Okay, cool. Yeah, if I grab my stick across this, you hear that now triggering the sound, and again, setting states. And even here, if I hit the rim with the base of the stick versus the tip, you can hear the overtone differences. I mean, that's pretty sophisticated. Even differences between hitting this region of the rim and that region of the rim, and even up here by this little plate. So, again, we have every possible, and it's not just zones, it's like a completely continuous, transforming sound. So, it's not like I'm setting different triggers off with different zones on the instrument. Then, of course, the muting comes into play with a triangle, which is, something that allows you to treat this like the actual instrument. And, that's a powerful thing that it's not like you're learning a new instrument in some ways, but you're bringing to it all the things that you already know as a drummer, as a percussionist, a hand percussionist. Now you can kind of use those things and get the kind of range of sounds out of the instrument that you'd hope. I have a couple samples of some things that I would play for you just for 30 seconds here. All the drums you hear on all these recordings are done with the WD-1. So, some that are more hand percussion, more world music sounding, some that are more traditional. But the reality is that this is very versatile. If you sit down in a multi-track setting, you can use it to do accent percussion. You can do the entire kit with it. You can do, sort of stuff that you just can't find. And of course, with the parameters, and there's some wild stuff that are in there too. They've got like thunderclaps, and they've got typhoon, which is just this. Here's monsoon. Let's go to 50. Okay, one last little parlor trick for you. Um, so yeah, it's just modeling some noises. With the ability of essentially aftertouch, I'm able to, do all kinds of things that regular drums can't do. So yes, it can model all these great real drums. It can pick up all these crazy nuances of playing that a real percussion instrument can pick up. But it also takes advantage of all those things to do otherworldly stuff as well. That's just how it is in the electronic world. You get to the basics, and then you just keep on going beyond that. And so I just thought everybody would really appreciate this. This instrument is so rare. I can't find another copy of it or another one for sale. The guy I did buy this off of said if I hadn't bought it, he was going to put it in a museum. And it's that rare. So I'm very fortunate to have it. I'm using it every week to do creative percussion, and I'm learning more about it. I haven't explored the MIDI. I haven't hooked it up to like my EP133 or my Raspberry Pi or any of my other stuff. Not thoroughly yet, anyway. Yeah, that's it. Just thought this was a cool one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Any feedback, any questions, there's very little information about this drum out there. I've gathered a little bit up. Maybe I'll post some of that in the notes here. Wish you guys the best, and I hope to see you more this year. Okay, take care.